Death and demon culture. It's all over Washington, D.C., all over Baltimore, all over America. These kids can live out their droll rap, demon crime spree fantasies, and no one keeps them accountable. Not the politicians, not even their parents. Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy, Inner City Conservative, back at you again with another reaction video. This time, very sad from Washington, D.C. 17-year-old gunned down in cold blood at a very popular, very busy metro train station in the middle of rush hour. Let's take a look at this video. I'll be back with my reaction.
Photo of this young man whose life was taken way too soon. This is 17-year-old Antonio Cunningham. His father says he was a good young man who stayed out of trouble, went to school and worked. Police say 3 men drove up in a black SUV, jumped out wearing black and blue masks, 4:30 p.m. Monday. A fight breaks out, and another man who saw what was going on tried to intervene, help Antonio. The men wearing masks opened fire, killing Antonio and severely injuring the man who tried to help him. We're now going to hear exclusively from Antonio Cunningham's father, and after that, you'll hear from the wife of the Good Samaritan who was shot but survived. As a father, how are you dealing with this right now?
Just trying to process everything. It's hard, you know, dealing with a lot of violence in this city. My son is, I don't even have the words, to be honest.
If the people who killed your son are watching this, what do you say to them?
I just pray the Lord be with you, man. Like, you took a good one. You hurt me and my family. I'm grieving right now with all my family.
Just let the Lord be with you, man. This man is very sketchy. I have a lot to say about this father and his so-called parenting style. More after this video.
Family, friends, so, you know, it's hurt.
He kept on trying to get them to de-escalate. That's what he does. He believes in talking. And without warning, the guy turned around and shot him. And then he heard the second shot and saw the kid's head go back.
Now, that is the wife of the Good Samaritan who tried to help Antonio. She says that her husband had surgery today, and tonight he is in intensive care. She believes he is going to be okay and eventually be able to come home. Police have not released a motive in this shooting. However, Antonio Cunningham's father tells me that detectives told him that his son was the victim of an armed robbery. Now, homicide detectives are still investigating. They did, however, recover a 9mm handgun from the scene. However, they did not tell us if that 9mm handgun is the murder weapon. As for this case, it's still under investigation, and police are offering a reward of up to $25,000 for information that leads to an arrest and a conviction in this case.
Of course, it's still under investigation. And of course, nothing will be done and the murder will not get solved. In Chicago, I believe it's upwards of 80% of murders go unsolved, leaving
you might think you know Snapchat, but do you really? Here's
virtually legal, leaving murders virtually legal. This is an absolutely sad and tragic story that had to happen in Washington, D.C., but sadly it happens every day and nothing is done about it. This 17-year-old boy was gunned down in a heavy populated, heavy lit part of Washington, D.C. In fact, I want you guys to see exactly where this location is. So this is the area where the young man was killed, where he was shot. The Jersey Mike's, as you can see, it's a well-lit, very nice area. It's not the hood, it's not the slum whatsoever. I say that to say that these kinds of things can happen anywhere. Doesn't matter where you are. This is where the boy was quote unquote robbed by his father. He was robbed at 4:30 in the afternoon on a Monday at one of the busiest train stations in the Washington D.C. area. The young man wasn't robbed, rest in peace. It's these kind of parenting that leads to this kind of destruction. The father says the young man was robbed at 4:30 in the afternoon. He also said, that's what the cops told him was the motive. But then the cops said, right now there are no motives. There's a gun found at the scene. They can't confirm if it's the young man's gun or if it's the criminal's gun. Nobody knows. The young man is 17. Why would 3 masked men jump out of a black SUV wearing black gloves and only target this young man at 4 o'clock in the afternoon during rush hour for a robbery? A robbery of what? He works at a Subway shop. This kind of behavior is excused by the father, is excused by the politicians who refuse to pass laws to keep criminals accountable. I have hundreds of stories to do on happenings like this every day in Washington, D.C. and all over America. I will keep posting it until the laws change. Please join this channel, subscribe to stay abreast of all the inner city news from a conservative perspective.
You ain't black.